Welcome back, folks, to Final Fantasy XI. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing well, and I think I figured out what we're going to be, the order in which we're going to try and do these. Because these side missions, these nation missions, interrupt so commonly, we're going to try and jump on these as soon as we can. And since they have a day of wait time between them, we can do some main story missions, jump on to the next one, and then we can jump into the next set of missions, etc., etc., etc. So despite where we left off, we met Lizette, I think it was. I've already forgotten her name. But the young dancer, who appears to possibly be another time traveler. Which is just wild. That there's another time traveler who isn't Cait Sith. She also appears to have it out for Cait Sith, so Cait Sith doesn't seem to realize that she's a time traveler. Which is also crazy. But here we are in Bastok, ready to start the next in the sets of missions. I'm hoping that the main set of missions doesn't have any wait points, but it probably does, let's be honest. At least, possibly later down the line. We'll see. And we had to come out here to North Gustaberg in order to go back. Because of course we did. Unless we already got that. That's Lost in Translocation. That's the main mission. No. Altana. Do we have? This is interesting. We may have to complete that set of story missions in order to unlock it. That's not listed in here as a thing you have to do. I mean, they did stick it in there as that. If that's the case, then, Well, if that's the case, then there's one place we have to go to. Continue Time Swept Butterfly, which is the one we're on. And that's... we need to go to the inlet. I think. There was, yeah, because there was only the one thing there. The one guide there. That's not L6 on the inlet. Huh. Cross the water at H6. That's what I'm looking for. H6. H and 6. So up here. That doesn't seem right. Because that leads to Ronfar over here. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. I think the directions are bad again. I think the directions may be bad again. Wouldn't be the first time. H6. That's also bad. I don't know what they're talking about then. Stick to the left when you zone in. They talk about Jungnir? I mean, yeah, that brings you directly to the inlet. But it keeps saying cross the water at H6. Okay, cross the water there. That's fairly normal. Make your way to I/J8. Huh. I am continuing to be very, very confused because, again, they're wording them. It is not worded well. Not that I expected it to be worded well. Is it much to ask when you start out a sentence when you start out a list of things that says, otherwise you'll have to zone into Vulkneural Inlet South Shadow at L6. And then you've got your bullet points for where you're supposed to go from after that. You completely ignore the fact that's where your starting point is. Like, seriously. The next two bullet points are coming from Batilla Downs. Where does that come from? I thought it was coming from the inlet. And then coming from Ronfar East, and I'm like, that's also not where I'm supposed to be at. What? And that's where it gives me several steps of instructions of south, cross the water at H6. From there, make your way to I/J8. That should be its own separate line. Like, straight up, should not be included in the Batilla down in the Ronfar one. Because that's where the next step happens when you're coming from the inlet. If I'm reading it correctly. I could be wrong. Doesn't let us in the water anywhere. And fall down the one-way ramp. There's supposedly a one-way ramp over here. I didn't think there was a one-way ramp going this direction. Over here. Unless we're supposed to... Not that one. Unless... it's still not... That really should be its own separate bullet point. That is just badly formatted. Because if that is correct... And we have to go all the way to H6. That should have been its own separate line. Like, how has nobody fixed that in 20 years? Or however long it's been since Altana. Because here we can cross. Okay, we're at I-7. We now need to go to I-8, which should be... would be right here, except we can't because that's a one-way that direction. Okay. Is 8 to the north? 8 might be to the north. 8's to the south. I continue to be highly unimpressed with the directions in the wiki. So come down here, and it says, from Ronfar, which is this direction, cross the river at H6. Okay. From there, make your way to I/J8. How? And fall down the one-way ramp. What one-way ramp? I'm sorry, you'll have to forgive me. The only one-way ramp I'm seeing is this one over here, which could very well be it. Maybe I'm just not in the correct vicinity, because it's probably this one. That still could be phrased better. Okay, from here. And fall down. And then we head north, veering east around K5. Like, I fail to see how this is necessarily going to be helpful, but whatever. Especially considering... I don't know. Maybe I'm just complaining about things that probably aren't worth anything. It said north to K8, K5. I don't know how this necessarily takes us to where we need to go. This is very confusing. Okay, over here near K5. Then we head east. Veer east. And we're supposed to make our way somehow to L6 from there. This doesn't seem correct. In fact, this seems very incorrect. Oh, east. I get my east and west mixed up sometimes on these maps. Duh. East is always to the right. I was going west. My bad. Okay. Going down here. Towards L6, which will bring us theoretically over there. And if I'm remembering correctly, where we need to go is actually, like, down here? I don't know how this all connects to there. But I'll trust the guide. They very rarely steer me wrong, even if they're worded super poorly. Okay, at L6. Okay, and then I guess we take the cave? All that did. That is worth a complete rewrite. Because all that was how to get to the Isle. And it's not listed as this is how you get to the Isle. And if you're starting at the Isle, here's the steps you go to. No. It is all listed as a starting at the Isle, this is where you go. That's not even... That's the clarified version. That is the clarified version. Oh, I am so upset. That needs clarity. I mean, that... Once again, the wiki being a poorly edited piece of garbage for the last 20 years. Well, 30, it's actually 15 for this article. Strikes again. Not 15, 18. Anyway, we need to go to D10, the southern exit. Which is fine. Annoying, but fine. Now that we've successfully figured out that that needed to be in its own separate category. Maybe I'll take my time to edit it, to edit it in the wiki. Chances are no, but I wouldn't put it past myself to be frustrated enough and annoyed enough that it's that bad to actually do that. And I will say this. This is like the second time the wiki has been badly formatted. And the last time was... It was a handmade paint document that someone made to try and aid in directions, and they didn't go back and double check that they had all the right locations marked off, which they didn't properly. Otherwise, the wiki's been a great guide, but it's things like this that's like, that's no. No. That needs to be remedied. Like, immediately. Because those need to be their own separate major bullet points, not secondary bullet points. Yeah, it needed to be. Now there's someone else up here. Don't know if they're farming orcs or gnolls or just here to try and figure out the story, and they got utterly confused, as did I. Either one of those is a possibility. I-9, cross them, and continue to the northwest. Gonna try and pick up all the things we... Okay, northwest it is, because that's a one-way ramp. You'll hit a bend at G8. Well, if you insist, I'm gonna find a bend over at G8, but I have my I have my doubts. A lot of one-way ramps. A lot of towers. Which I can't blame the orcs for doing. It's like they learned very quickly that the spoken races, the main races of NDL, cannot climb or jump. So really, I can't really blame them for putting them everywhere, because that may as well be wall. That may as well be wall. And then we're going to circle back towards the telepoint. I think that's what that reads. Yeah, that's exactly what that reads. So we should be able to pick up the telepoint, the Atomos, and the book on our way through. Excellent. I think. Yeah, because the telepoint should be just up ahead. Oh, there it is. Spawn right in, don't ya? And there's our gate crystal, which is completely useless to us because we, again, don't have the corresponding spell because, of course, game made in 2000-ish. Early 2000s. Gotta have a special spell to go with your gates. Why? Mysteries. Kind of, yeah. Just following some very bad wiki directions, which is made me slightly annoyed. Which is not a good thing to start a stream on, when you get slightly annoyed by bad wiki directions. And they're only bad because they're formatted badly, and have been for the last 18 years. These directions are old enough to vote, which is scary. But such is the way of things sometimes. I think that other Atmos should be right behind us. There he is. I'm not surprised. It's impressive that some people try. You know. And some people get closer to succeeding than others. But, such is the way of things. Oh! There's Corellia's father. The Red Mage. Just kind of hanging out. That's good to see. They at least kept him consistent. And the gate... Okay, and there's the guide. You're not wrong. There we go. We have finally entered the area. Ha Laval, also known as other things in our time period. Portia! Lizette? Is that you? What are you doing here? Lilithette, have you neglected your Lenthos and to come here? Return at once! Your behavior is unacceptable. But Master Mayakov, I was worried for your well-being. This place is dangerous. They say the orcs have already occupied a substantial portion of the area. I have a feeling something awful is gonna happen here. Don't you feel the same, Ragnios? Mm-hmm. None of that. We have come all the way here precisely because it is fraught with danger. We are bound to defend our home at any cost. No, that's not what I mean at all. Here, listen to the adventurer. He knows what will come to pass. You brought along a friend with you, I see. And may I ask how is it precisely that he is somehow already privy to events that have yet to unfold, Well, it's simple, really, though perhaps a bit difficult to believe. He's come from the future. How little is that? Little Lizette, dear, you must realize that now's not the time to be joking. Why are you laughing? Stop it right now, I'm serious! And what are you doing here? The enemy is nearly upon us, you know? This is no place for you to be. You... Well, never mind. We need all the help we can get for now. Oh, this game would have done a lot better with voice acting. And that's the thing. This is Final Fantasy XI. Final Fantasy X had voice acting. Well, again, early 2000s MMO. Most of those didn't have voice acting because you weren't going to invest that kind of money into it. I think I read something about that, yeah. Yes, sir. I think I read something about that. Yeah, it was a terrible decision. Knights of the Matter Falcon, how fare you? Sir Ragnalis, what has kept you? You've missed all the excitement. We've only just finished doling out our latest flogging to those accursed orcs. It does me well to hear that. Though I must say, the looks of things, you seem to have taken your fair share of lashings as well. Never mind that. Still, your arrival will do me much to set the men at ease. Leave the rest up to us. We shall see it from here. You and your men see to the defense of the local populace first and foremost. Yeah, that is a bit unusual, but I could see why. It's cheaper to do it with the upscaling and just QA the art. Lilizette? Is that you? Lilizette of Troop Mayakov? For some reason, the orcs have gone to great lengths insulting this location. I can't for the life of me figure out why. It's nothing more than a sleepy little town, and the monastery is the only substantial structure. We must deliver a crippling blow to their ranks and force them to move elsewhere. Otherwise, I fear they will simply continue their relentless siege until nothing is left. My lord! Yes? What news from the mark? It is as we feared, sir. So the latest attack was a diversion after all. That is not the sound a bell makes, guys. Not even close. Away! Away from the houses! Now! The flames! How can this be? They're everywhere! Curse it all! How could the fires have erupted everywhere so suddenly? My lord, we will not be able to extinguish them all in time! Composure, knight! This is nothing more than a scare tactic of mere pigmen. Abandon the homes. Concentrate all hands on the evacuation of the people. Look! There! So now they show their true selves. The Dark Kindred. The rumors were true. The evil from the north has rallied the orcs and the XIV to its call. Not really. Plants vs. Zombies never really interested me. So this is about the time the Shadow Lord shows himself as uniting the Beastmen. It's a meddling furball! I knew it! Do not give yourself to despair. Demon or no, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Spoken like any RPG player. Tower defense is not really a genre in itself that interests me, as most of those are basically just puzzle game, and most puzzle games really aren't my alley, which is weird, considering some of the games I've played. Yeah, most tower defense games just don't do enough with the tower defense aspect to really interest me. Let them strike no fear in your heart. Let us show them how the kingdom welcomes its guests. The enemy comes! Order of the Iron Wing Butterfly! See the women and children to safety! All other units, we hold the enemy here. This is where we fight. I forgot to inform you, Sir Ragales, that the acting commander Farlazel of the Iron Wing Butterfly is nowhere to be found. If it pleases my lord, I shall lead them in his stead. Very well. I place them in your charge. Wait a moment. Your face is not familiar to me. State your name and rank, knight. Hodrail of the Knights of the Madder Falcon, sir. We have the manpower to repel the enemy. To the west of here is the entrance to an underground cavern. I shall guide the troop and the townspeople. Leave the matter here to us. Now go, all of you. To Ragnarly's. Do not worry, Portia. Surely you don't think I'd allow myself to die surrounded by men. Even at such a time as this, you tease me so. Well, Lizette, you didn't have to give that face, to be honest. We know what was going on and what he meant by that. Ragnios, Lilizette, Portia, now go, and may the goddess watch over you. And you too, my lord. Come back with your shield. Or upon it. Sorry, I had to quote, a little bit of Lord of the Rings quote there. Ooh, he just crushed that guy's throat. Brutal. Yeah. Sir Ragnarly's, are you all right? Aye. Had you expected to find me any other way? By our hand, the Dark Kindred have pulled back. That is most excellent news. At last we will have our revenge for the Battle of Lathane. And yet, tons of men died. What happened to the others? The dancer girl and her company? They are escorting the townspeople to safer ground. Yes, I granted temporary command of the dance unit to Sir Haldrell of the Gromatter Falcons. They departed shortly thereafter. Haldrell? My lord, there's no knight by that name in the Knights of the Matter Falcon. Perhaps you're mistaken? By the goddess! And, they were, all of them, deceived. But in very interesting ways were we deceived. Who'd have thought that the demons could pretend to be ordinary people? And there's my Shantoto too. Okay, once inside, into the big room at J7. And proceed west until you reach I7. And all of a sudden this layout makes a little bit more sense. The big island in the middle. It makes a little bit more sense. But just a little. Now that we see it in its village form, although it doesn't make sense really that you'd put a village here. This just, oh god. Look at all of them. I-7? We should be... Okay, it wanted us to go northwest rather than north. Rather than continue west. I see. Yep, here we are at I-7. Then we're supposed to continue until we reach G7. Yes, I'm going to be dragging a ton of enemies along the way, but there's nothing... Once you hit G6, turn immediately left. At some point in time, I'm going to have to kill these enemies that are after us. Oh, the big group of orcs. It is time to fight them all, assuming the game will ever let me engage combat mode before it kills me. As I said, this all depends on how well the game wants me to, lets me handle a group of this size. Where is my meditate? Oh, good lord. There we go. Just killed a bunch of them. And this auto target is not great. Like, it really is not. It's like, there's enemies still attacking you. Let's disengage combat. Why? Unknown. It's probably because you didn't inflict any damage on them. There we go. Be looking for Goddess 1. Lavelle. Anyway, from here we're supposed to go to E6. Be careful of a particular character, a particular one. I don't see him over here. There's one that has true sight. Oh, look at that. Our MP has been recovering. Follow this path until E7. Oh, good lord. Then we take a left, heading east. I think it's about time we engage in the next set of enemies. If the game will ever let us. Come on. Just let me take a swing at something, come on! I can't let my trusts handle everything. This is where we see the weakness of the combat when it comes to large-scale enemy encounters. It requires such a strict and timely and forced time to engage. It's like, there are some conflicts, some battles I've been in where it's taken like about like 10 seconds in order for me to actually swing the first time. It's like, it's dumb how badly the that's paced. Come on. Oh, Chantoto. And then just switching enemies and just... the force disengaging from combat is just very, very poor. At times. No doubt, in a one-on-one conflict, it's not bad. Or one versus group. It's not bad. It's actually quite good of a combat system. But for large scale like that, it is just very, very, very bad. We're specifically looking for a reinforced gateway on our right. I have no problem drawing some of these guys all together. It's not like they can hurt us anyway. Ah, there it is. And Shockwave goes out. It'll deal some 4,000 damage apiece, allowing us to carve quickly through them. Of course, this isn't a problem. Of course, my problems with this combat is not particular. It's not particularly constrained to here. Like, it's a similar problem in the original Dynamis area, where things cannot hurt you, but it will sometimes take like 30 seconds for you to fight the like 30, 40 enemies you have on top of you. And it's not like they can really hurt you, but they do slowly bring your health down, and it's like, that's concerning. Please stop. I certainly don't like the feel of this place. It's a bit creepy. So, Hodrail, where exactly do you intend to take these townspeople? So, Hodrail, a gentleman replies when addressed by a lady. Portia, let us return! Demons? Was the journey to your liking? Allow me to offer my apologies. I realize that it may neither be the most appropriate escort, nor location for such ladies of your refinement. This will not be over quickly. On your mark. Lizette of the great troop Mayakov stands before you. Feel the honor and privilege at your enemy this day. Portia! Oh, he must be like a paladin sub-dragoon. Sir Ragnalis. I sensed that something foul was afoot the moment I laid eyes on you. Far too well spoken and mannered to pass for one of the rugged madder falcons. Most perceptive. Huh? Here I am! Yeah! Unfortunately, I haven't the time or patience to contend with your futile interruptions. Sir Ragnalis! Are you alright? Aquila, you're late. Sorry about that, I got lost along the way. I did. Who are you fiends? What are you? Pardon my impudence. I have gone and totally forgotten to introduce myself. Spite Warden of Lady Lilith. And Commander of the Knights of the Rustwing Hawk, Hardrail, at your humble service. Me too, me too! Leader of the Crypt Scale Protectorate, Aquila. It's so nice to meet you. And truly, I mean that. By command of Lady Lilith, we have come to pay our dear ladies, a small visit. But it seems you have quite a persistent guardians watching over you. More so than anticipated. Aquila, I leave these knaves to you. Tear them limb from limb. Again? Why do I always get stuck with the dirty work? It really doesn't suit me, I think. Silence! I prefer to place my own blade once again in that slack jaw of yours. Fine, fine. But you really aren't good at dealing with people. You know that? Huh? Sorry, but I have to do this. I promise I'll try and make it as painless for you as possible. Galarig! Come! Nothing particular that I'm doing for Thanksgiving that I'm aware of. Ooh, he just summons a shadow dragon. It's not like I've murdered hundreds and hundreds of those. Purple, the new black. Dancing for your shadow dragon. But are you doing anything interesting for Thanksgiving? Oh, most definitely. I haven't booted it up in a while, but there's definitely some more things I wanted to do in there that were going to be quite fun. Ah, Neshmira. Might as well summon Neshmira. Yeah, that would have been a little awkward. There he is. Galareg. Oh, he's already almost half dead. Yeah, it's not gonna be until we get to the last expansion where we're gonna get anything that's close to difficult. Seekers, actually, the last expansion has a couple of notorious fights that are hard for solo players. Yeah, if you don't know how you're gonna tackle the whole turkey situation, yeah, that could be a bit awkward. It's not. They actually don't pump any steroids into the turkeys. That's just that's just how we've bred the turkeys to be. It's not fair. Why did you do that to my Galarig? It always seems to be a way of things when he loses. Such a child. Huh? Alright. Come now, on your feet. You don't want me to have to tell Lady Lilith now, do you? Until we meet again, then. Halt there! Halt! Accept your defeat! Behold. For emptiness itself is not to be sustained. The whole of creation abides right at this point, both good and evil, both the sacred and the profane. And all realities. What are you going to do on? What are you going on about? Behold. For emptiness itself is not to be sustained. The whole of creation abides right at this point, both good and evil, both sacred and profane. That's a fallen Sandoria, fallen Bastok, and a withered tree at Windhurst. And Juno in ruins. And all realities. Star Sibyl, the King, and the Shadow Lord. Volker dead at his feet, Zaid dead. And the Shadow Lord reigns supreme. What was that? Well, he just hit us with a burst of potential futures, which is never a good thing to see with your time traveler. Lizette! Lizette! Please, wait, don't go. I'm here, right here. Please. Lizette! Mr. Maykoff, she's awake. Lizette is awake. Portia, thank the goddess you're all right. You needn't be worrying about me now, child. I'll be just fine. It looks like they're going to be all right. Gave me quite the shock there. Just fainting like that all of a sudden. I thought you'd taken ill by some work of magic. With the help of the Ragnolith, we were able to carry you to safety. Sir Ragnolith, where is he? Is he all right? He's... No, it can't be. Not again. Calm yourself, child. He is still breathing. He collapsed there right after carrying you here. I imagine he must be quite tuckered out. All the while he was carrying you, he was joking and in good spirits, as always. Father, can you hear me? Father? Father, please, wake up. Father, don't leave me. Lilith, I wonder if you haven't gone and banged your head somewhere. What are you going on about now? Ah. That does explain the resemblances. The once flourishing roots of the great star tree were all but withered away. I saw... The great star tree? Whatever you're talking about, are you feeling all right, Lilizette? Rachnios, did you see? Did you see it as well? Don't go puzzling yourself over anything you may have seen. Those dark kindred stock in trade is deceiving their enemy. Oh man, I'm feeling that. So Ragnolith. Worried. Much. He's passed out again. Oh my, I do hope he's alright. Whatever could be wrong? Let us get him back to the city quickly. The royal doctor there will be able to do something for him. No, we mustn't move him. Look at the wound. It will only eat away at his body as he becomes weaker. If he attempted the journey to the city walls now, his condition will only worsen. How could you possibly know that much about this? It doesn't sound like this is your first time seeing such a wound. Very well then. Let's take him back to the monastery. Many of the holy men there are knowledgeable in the ways of medicine. A good idea. Are you able, Lilith? Come then. Rachnios, I wonder if you haven't already noticed by now. I realize there's no use in trying to hide it from you. I'm an adventurer, just like you are. I've come from Vanadiel of many years past. That man, Ragnali, is of the House Balamut, and leader of the Knights of the Ironcrest Hawk. He is my father. 10 years from now, that wound, curse, or whatever it is, it will cause my father to become irreparably ill, and eventually claim his life. So when I heard about the cavernous maws and with these bygone days of Vanadiel, I had but a single thought. My mother once told me that my father suffered his wound serving at the Battle of Juno. I thought that if I could somehow prevent him from going to that battle, if only I could, I thought the wound could be avoided. It made such perfect sense to me. I already know about what happened in this world. I already know what will happen after this. I've already learned of all these events as history in the future. And yet, there was nothing I could do. He was still struck by the same blow. But things are changing. History is changing, Ragnios. Like the events we witnessed back at Laval, my father's diary contained no such entries or recollections, not even in passing. Still, that mysterious feline, she too is attempting to change the course of history. Only if she were to have her way, things would sway in favor of the Beastman Confederate. I think you may be wrong about the cat. And just you watch. I'm gonna make the cat wish it never crossed my path. And I will save my father. And what are your plans from here, Ragnios? Do you intend to keep the promise you made? Are you even listening? After everything I told you, this isn't exactly what that stupid cat told you to do. But wait. Oh wait, just a second. That's so crazy. It might just work. If we pretend to be doing what she's told us. That's it. By making it appear as though we're both doing her bidding, she will surely make a point to contact us again. Nice thinking. Maybe a bit more clever than I gave you credit for. I might just keep you around. Not a bad team, you and I. So, we do exactly as she tells us. And then we go to a place where she's likely to show herself and make a little noise. And then, as soon as she shows her little face, we've got her. So she wants us to stop the flow of tears, does she? I don't suspect a single one will be shed over her. So no harm done. I think you horribly underestimate what Cait Sith is trying to do. She is but a cat, after all. But I could be wrong. When the Harbinger cometh, the champions of dawn shall descend. No. This is certainly no time to be idly singing prophecies. No time at all. It is as Koyig has told us, just informed us. How is it those two have come to be here? And what say you, Sather? What do we think they're simply crossed? They simply passed through the Atmos, right on through? Gone and forgotten. Too close to the door behind you. That is now off screen. I cannot read that. No, I simply... always lacking tact and thoroughness. Never thought or tactful. Oh well. So sorry to have bothered. Most important that we stay the course at hand. Our hands on course. Our work here will not be compromised. No compromises. We mustn't forget that we are all for one. Our cooperation is required for our plan to fruition, for the plan to bear fruit. Unsure I am. All the stock of champions, was it? Sounds a bit off to me. Not too right. And that's enough of both of you. Nothing but complaints from the both of you. All I ever hear. Enough! Silence, silence, silence! Quiet! If you please, tries attempting to say something. Speaking up. Have we not all overlooked the terribly important issue? Quite forgotten? And bushes are in danger. Brushes with danger are quite the cause for concern. Quite the cause. Now of all times we cannot afford to be careless. Mini Cait Sith. You have no idea. I literally had my tail ripped off at the base. Traumatic to say the least. Terribly traumatic. And then there was indeed someone attempting to impede our work. To slow us down. Now that you mention it. Now I do seem to recall there was a brazen young lass. Accused me of being nothing more than a common cat, she did. Chased me about for quite a spell. Before I was able to find the loser. Lost her I did. A common cat, you say? Such impudence. What capacity could one mistake our regal stock for a mundane feline? A common cat? Most perplexing. Most intriguing. Intrigues and perplexes. Look at you all, idling away, idle thoughts. Surely she's up to something. Plots and plans of her own. Indeed, indeed. Then I shall like to keeping an eye on her and her underling. A careful Cait's eye. I leave our endeavors somewhere elsewhere up to the rest of you. Then see to it, take care of it. Work to be done. That is all for now. For now, that is all. Such a weird and unusual creature. Such a weird and unusual creature Cait Sith is. Well, back we go to Bastok to pick up that quest that I wanted to do at the beginning of the stream, but we couldn't apparently do until just now. Because of course the wiki doesn't list it on the page of that quest that, hey, there's a prerequisite of this quest in the main story in order to be able to do this. Until you're at that page's that quest's wiki page, which we just started. And it's like, hey, this is required, this quest needs to be flagged in order to do these other ones, and I'm like, really? Really? So once again, poor formatting realistically on the wiki. Is it terrible? No, but it could do with being more explicit. It's a minor inconvenience, to be honest, but it is annoying that it's not referenced in both locations. Hear me, my fellow Gulka. For too long we've lived under the oppressive rule of the Humes, in the name of their twisted justice. At this very moment, one of our own is being accused of a crime he did not commit. We all know this hero's name, do we not? Pale Eagle! Will we stand by and watch as Pale Eagle suffers the same humiliations to which our comrades Were and Gumba were subjected? No, we will not! I thank you, my brothers. Your support is indispensable in this dark hour. It is time. It is time for the Gulkan race to rise up and break free from our shackles. Just like the time when the hero Darksteel Hurricane stood up against the tyranny of the Humes so many years ago. Hurrah! What is the meaning of this? Unauthorized public gatherings are strictly prohibited. I take it you were the leader of this rabble? Adjourn this illegal meeting and gathering immediately, or else... You. I know your face. You're a Mithril Musketeer. Explain yourself this instant. See for yourselves, my fellow Gulka. This is the Hume's twisted notion of justice. Their mouths spew forth law while their hands reach for the blade. The ones who unjustly imprisoned Were and Goomba are none other than the self-proclaimed military police standing here before you. Scoundrels! I don't think we'll stand quietly by and let your military police dogs frame our respected Chairman Pale Eagle as well. So stand down. Stand down, I say. Don't do anything stupid. That's enough fun and games. Zaid, I knew you'd come. Zaid, what's the meaning of this? Mithril Musketeer, 5 moons. You are under arrest for treason and slander. Is this a joke? The ones who brought both forth us false accusations against Chairman Pale Eagle should be arrested. Not I. Am I not right, Zaid? Zaid? Well, things are escalating quickly here in Bastok. This loose cannon of yours is a disgrace to the Mithril Musketeers. All superiors will hear of this. Make no mistake about it. Feel free to do as you please. Needless to say, considering his role as the ringleader, he'll be taken into custody. I trust there will not be any objections. Zaid! Is there not a speck of Gulkan pride left in you? Pride, you say? Oh, I have pride in what I do, not who I am. I can't believe I'm hearing this from you, a Gulka! What is the source of this commotion? Your Excellency, this man has been arrested for inciting rebellious sentiments within young Gulka. Disconcerting indeed. This is a familiar face. If my memory serves me correctly, you're Mithril Musketeer 5... Galog! My name's Galog, and don't you forget it. I'm warning you, Karst. This isn't over. We Gulka will not stand idly by while the chairman has his honor defaced. Even if you lock me up, someone else will rise in my place and... Mind your manners before the senator! That's enough, officer. Violence will not be tolerated, not even towards detainees and prisoners. I beg your pardon, Your Excellency. Now, Galag, was it? I, Derek Cost, will speak with Chairman Pale Eagle in person and confirm this truth for myself. This I solemnly promise. Take him away. It takes 2 people to hold him back, and even then, they are going to struggle. Rachnius. I'm sorry you had to witness what transpired. In an unfortunate turn of events, suspicion over the plot behind Senator Werner's assassination has been cast upon Chairman Pale Eagle. We Mithril Musketeers were given orders to conduct a preliminary investigation. While 5 Moons had been observed voicing his belief in Chairman Pale Eagle's innocence with increasing fervor, no one thought much of it. And one day he disappears from headquarters altogether. The rest, you can see with your own eyes. Nicholas, we need to focus on the task at hand. With regards to the reason behind 5 Moon's sudden change of heart, do I have anything to speculate upon? Actually, we found a book lying in his room. One that's been causing quite a stir recently. Book, you say? It's a chronicled account of the unsuccessful attempts to capture the Darksteel Hurricane, the infamous assassin who shook the very foundations of the Republic several years back. It would appear this Darksteel Hurricane has attained cult status as of late. He's idolized among the younger generation of Gulka as a hero and a role model. Of all the people they chose to idolize, a murderer. Nicholas, we're going. Now, if you'll excuse us, Rachnius. Now we got to speak to Gentle Tiger and see what he says. It's always Gentle Tiger. Oh, it's you. Looking for Captain Clara? She's receiving a guest right now. Senator Cost, in fact. I was specifically instructed to not let anyone through, but it's you! Sir, I beseech you to reconsider. Chairman Pale Eagle has not been cleared of suspicion. Meeting him alone under such circumstances would be ill-advised. I'm not unmindful of your concern, Captain. But I must honor the promise I made to your man to seek out the truth for myself. If I can't persuade your excellency, then grant me permission to accompany you. Well, I appreciate your commitment. I can't allow that. This meeting at Zagram Hill must be between only myself and the chairman. But sir, with the Beastman forces prowling the Gustavberg region, precautions must be taken. This discussion is over, Captain. The matter is to be kept under strictest confidence. This applies to you too, adventurer. Your Excellency. Captain, is it true that the Five Moons is being detained by military police? I'm afraid so. The new Five Moons is a great deal more stubborn than the one we used to know. He's been maintaining silence since arrest. Continuing to do so would be tantamount to him admitting his own guilt. Damn it! Volker, where do you think you're going? I'm gonna slap some sense into Five Moons and then bring him back. You'd only be wasting your time. Only Captain Clara's authorization from the military police to meet with Five Moons. Furthermore, it wouldn't be in their best interest to release him. Captain, what do you propose? Five Moons' charges are serious. If they stick, I would be forced to dismiss him from the Mithril Musketeers. To say nothing of the heavy sentence should he be convicted. If he doesn't break his silence, soon, there's little I can do for him. Leave him be, Volker. He clearly has his sights set on martyrdom. There's no point in going against that wish. Seed, you of all people. Just as I thought. Captain, if I may. If the allegations of Chairman Pale Eagle's involvement in the assassination is disproved, wouldn't the charges being brought against Five Moons be lightened, even if nullification is out of the question? Ragnios, I have a favor to ask of you. I want you to accompany Volker to Senator Kust's meeting with Chairman Pale Eagle. Captain? Republican law recognizes the gravity of third-party evidence. Therefore, if any fruit comes out of the secret meeting at Zegam Hill and the chairman's involvement in the assassination is disproved, your presence as eyewitness may be pivotal in the case for Five Moons. Captain! Prepare for immediate departure, Volker. It was a mistake allowing the senator to leave unescorted. Should anything run afoul, protect his excellency with your life. Yes, ma'am. I must first attend to Five Moons. I'll be right behind you, Ragnios. Okay. And the reward does stack, so I just had to make sure that the reward would stack. Yep, there's Zegam Hill. It says over at I-8. Up at the top of that hill. That comet just sitting there in the sky, just forever being there. There it is. There's the entrance to the hill. Approach the ramp at the right angle. then we had counterclockwise to hit the ramp to the 3rd level. And again, the most interesting thing about this is these are the enemies in Bastok. Like, if you're starting out in Bastok, these are the right enemies. I believe they're just scaled up. So they definitely did a lot of good work keeping things appropriately thematic. Then on the 3rd level, we go clockwise. Somehow I think I may have missed it. Because they're saying it should have been back at J7. Oh, this J7, not the other J7. Yep. Though the addition of the pixies is a good way to distinguish the two. Please, excuse my tardiness. I hope you haven't waited long. That young Gulka gave me a much-needed wake-up call the other day. I neglected to see the merit of a candid conversation between ourselves in resolving... What are you... Chairman, no! Paralegal! Senator! Chairman! Are you harmed? I'm fine, but the chairman... he has been stabbed. Chairman! This is nothing to worry about. Senator, now is not the time for civil war. Our citizens, they must be united. I'm prepared to resign from my post. You need but request it. You need say nothing more, Paralegal. Your selfless act this day more than proves your innocence. Paralegal, be strong now. He is in mysterious but stable condition. Fortunately, the assassin missed his vital spots. Can he be transported to the infirmary? It would be too risky to move the patient now. We must first treat the poison used by the Tonberry and wait for the symptoms to subside. Captain, what of 5 moons? He escaped detainment. What? That fool! How are we supposed to lessen his charges if he keeps incriminating himself? Zaid is out searching for him as we speak, but thus far we've been unable to track him down. 5 moons. That was the young Gulka with whom I spoke. My reconciliation with Pale Eagle was made possible thanks to him. I'll do everything in my power to mitigate his charges. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your reassurance means a lot to us. Our priority now is to locate 5 moons before the military police do. Who knows what other charges they'll venture to add to his already hefty list. Grauberg. I have a feeling he's headed for Grauberg. What makes you think so? Up there in the hills is an ancestral shrine where the Gulka pay respects to those who gave their lives against the war. In the war against the Attica. Five Moons himself once told me how all Gulka adults go to report momentous undertakings to those who've gone before them. I see. It certainly warrants an investigation. Volka, you're to head up to Grauberg immediately. I will remain here with Nicholas and tend to Chairman Pale Eagle. Understood. Rachnios, come with me. Well, we know exactly where that's at. The acquiring of the survival guide. Late. Last time. Should be pretty simple and straightforward to go to. And of course it had to be a Tonberry, which means that, again, there's an informant somewhere. Because that's not the first time those Tonberries have shown their faces. Although I believe it is the first time. It's the first time we've been able to implicate one directly. Everything else was merely conjecture with Werner's death. They weren't able to prove it. But that still, again, like I said, suggests an informant. Which is still never good. Question is the informant in the military police or the musketeers? Because Bastock doesn't have a military police in current day. But the musketeers continue to exist. At least as far as I'm aware, they don't have a military police. They could very well. Bastock is an unusual republic, even for this era. And it says, the formatting on this wiki is exceptionally weird. This is the first time it mentions that taking, quote, taking a survival guide teleport to Grauberg is much faster than walking. You don't say. You don't say. It didn't say that in the other quest that took us there. Fires of Discontent. It didn't tell us any teleportation options at all, which would be faster or anything. Sometimes what the wiki mentions is random and dependent on wiki author, which is unfortunate. Honestly, a lot of these little articles could go with, like, a proper editor, just to provide some consistency and proper formatting. Like a proper editor, rather than just being a distributed, hey, everybody contributes to, which leads to a smattering of different formatting styles and explanations. Like most of them will tell you the fastest way to go places and do things, but not always. And a proper editor would really help with that kind of consistency. But it is a volunteer wiki, for now. It is as it is. It's still the best guide we have. Which, again, is saying something, considering the age of the game. To Grauberg! And this is the first time we've seen this type of warning on, not this quest, but the next quest. Which, surprisingly, there's no forced time difference between these two, which is glorious. This is the first time we've seen this warning, which is... That's a mine. Ow. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, this warning of, this mission cannot be completed solo without AoE sleep and /or damage. Like, that is still on the wiki in 2025. Now, they recommend either grabbing a black mage or subbing black mage so you can sleep-a bunch of enemies. Or... And it's really weird that they have this in here. An alternative is to use the trust system. As if you wouldn't be using that by now? Like you wouldn't be using the trust system? In 2025? Wild. I'm afraid I cannot approve of your plan. The blood of the Humes will not wash away the past, nor will it cleanse our path for the future. What's become of the passionate and decisive where I used to respect? Has your resolve weakened with age? True change cannot be achieved without sacrifice. This is the lesson of the hero Darksteel Hurricane. This is the lesson the hero Darksteel Hurricane taught us. My brothers, are you ready to reclaim your honor? We're ready! 5 moons. Wait. Volker? How did you find me? Chairman Pale Eagle will be cleared of all suspicion. Senator Cost has sworn personally to see to it. What? Cost has changed his mind about the accusations? Your words reached him, made him rethink. My words reached him? Now, only the military police's charges against you remain. The captain's promised to do all she can, so let's return to headquarters. You're not still seeing the big picture. This one incident is merely a drop in the ocean. The oppression and inequality my people have suffered for centuries, all this still remains. But now a new storm of change has arisen, and there's no stopping it. My brothers, let us go. 5 moons. Damn him. What am I supposed to do now? Listen to me, Volca. They intend to seize power from the government by taking the Republic's defenses unawares and overrunning key facilities. What? But why are you telling me all this? Should an all-out conflict erupt between Hume and Golka, the nation and her citizens will suffer irreparably. Their plan must not be allowed to succeed. Take this with you. May be of some assistance. Thank you. The entire nation is indebted to you all. Actios, let us make haste! All this has been orchestrated by someone who's really trying to make Bastok fall apart. Who? Well, we will clearly find out. Okay, we have to consider who do we need to bring who can do a large amount of AoE damage. Well, let's look at our trusts, what trusts we have. Most of ours do single target damage. Let's see, there's obviously Millennial. And we don't do a lot of AoE. And none of the other tank classes do AoEs like Millennial. Ayame is a good single target. Maybe Semi Shantoto. Just gotta be sure not to do too much damage to them. And if we fail this mission, we must wait a day before getting a new key. Commander Galag, I've successfully detained my Hume superior officer in the musketeer ranks. Good work, Comrade Gihigo, and done most expeditiously. And what of our own? Regrettably, a small handful of our brothers have refused to join the cause. And they too have been detained as you ordered. That is most unfortunate. But those who don't know true freedom cannot be blamed for their actions. I'll speak to them myself when the time is right. 5 moons! Cease this folly at once! Volga? Can't you see that your actions only serve to smear shame upon Gulkan honor? Listen to me. With Captain Clar's backing, we can make a direct appeal to the President. We have an honest chance of... "5 moons? Is it your intention to detain me also?" A bit like a human grenade. After all we've been through, to you, I'm no different than the other Humes. Troubling news, Comrade Galag. What is it, Comrade Devon? We just received word that a regiment patrolling North Gustaberg has been set upon by Kadev Elite Guard and is currently retreating for the capital. That would be the regiment given to the care of Galanalag. It seemed the task was beyond his meager experience. What are the enemy numbers? The Kadevs are estimated to be between 2,000 and 3,000 shell strong, and are marching straight for the capital at this very moment. What? But we've not more than a few units under our command that can be mobilized. What will we do, Comrade Galag? This is a long-awaited chance. Let the turtlebacks come in their tens of thousands, it makes no difference to us. We, the Galka, will repel their offensive and show the cowardly Humes the true meaning of courage. 5 moons. Charge! Huh? Cannons. Volka! Captain, what was that thunderous explosion? The Kadev shield warriors are bombarding us with their siege turrets. Siege turrets? But how'd they so quickly prepare for siege warfare? The siege turrets were stockpiled within a nearby abandoned mine. We must destroy them, or else the city will be reduced to piles of rubble. But 5 moons is still. Leave him be. He has abandoned the Mithral Musketeers, and its welfare is of no concern. I truly understand how you feel, Volker, but we're racing against time. That bombardment was merely a preparatory discharge from no more than 3 turrets. It's not an unreasonable amount to deal with for 5 moons and his outfit. While 5 moons holds back the enemy offensive, let's make for the Rootstov silver mines. Zaid has his reason to believe it's there that a great many more siege turrets have been stashed. I know not why the remaining turrets have not been included in the Kadev offensive, but I dread to imagine the carnage should they be brought to the battlefield. The siege turrets must be destroyed before they can be employed against us. Captain, how will this operation be conducted? The siege turrets are tautly lined with animal hide, making them extremely fire resistant. We will need to use ignis powder to destroy them. Ignis powder. Definitely not something you learn about in alchemy class. Due to the not inconsiderable risk involved in this, if the substance were to be placed in the hands of the layman, we will be recruiting the services of the Special Operations Squadron in this particular mission. No one can handle explosives as fleetingly and safely as they. Special Operations Squadron. The situation is indeed grave when the SOS call is made. That leaves the matter of the Ignis powder procurement. The President himself is seeing to the release of Ignis powder from the Metalworks munitions storeroom. Captain, if I may be permitted to assist in its transportation? I don't claim to be an expert on its application. My knowledge will surely be of use in handling such an extremely volatile substance. Permission granted. One can never take too many precautions when it comes to Ignis powder. And Rachnios, we will have need of your assistance also during the coming blasting operation. Operation members will regroup in the Rutaz silver mines, where the remaining siege turrets are hoarded. You'll be needing this key to gain entrance, for we are relying on you. Zaid, Nicholas, Volker, with me! Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure what gives you the Kingdom Hearts vibes. An eyeball opens and closes. Oh. Yogo, be strong now. Stay with me. Comrade Galak, our needs this day. Yes, Gilgo. On this glorious day, we restore the pride and honor to the Gulkan name. The tale of your valor will go down in history and be retold for all time. I'm happy to hear that. This can't be happening. No! Why am I going this way? It's gonna be faster to go the other way. I think. Teleportation assistance to... Next page, the Augustaburg front. Now I need to figure out what trusts to bring. First of all, we need to go to E9. Which is, of course, across the bridge. Should just be over here, I think. Assuming I don't get caught on trees. Here we are. All right, let me see what thrusts we can bring. All right. None of that's particularly helpful. Paladin, warrior, samurai, dragoon. Looking at these abilities on these characters. These trusts. Yeah, I don't think bringing a melee is going to be a good idea. Maybe no, I don't have Metsu EP because he's a temporary one. If we had Metsu EP, he would not have been a bad idea to bring along. Okay. What do we have for rangers? Probably Semi and Tenzin. We're looking for multi-targets nukes. I could bring a Kikuki Chibuki. He's got some AoE skills on him. Okay, bringing any of the Shantotos is not necessarily a good idea because they only do single target nukes. Huh. Didn't know that. In fact, there's very few trusts that do multi-target nukes. Now I gotta check to see which ones I have. Because we have Kabuki, Adelaide. Single targets only. Adelaide. Ah, Kaylee. Kaylee's the other one. So I bring these two. And hope for the best, basically. That's basically what we can do. Raktios, we appreciate your help. The Special Operations Squadron should arrive with the Ignis powder any moment now. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. That voice. Well, if it isn't Nick, it's simply been too long. Adelaide, the rumors, so it really was you. What are you implying by that statement, It's a rather rude way to treat your lady peer in academia, don't you think? We awaited your arrival. Please allow me to outline the details of the operation. Our intelligence report indicates that the sea turrets have been hidden in separate locations as to prevent their complete discovery. The role of the Special Operations Squadron will be to swiftly seek out and destroy all turrets before they can be added to the enemy's arsenal. Understood. Now, do we have any data on the enemy presence within the mines? I'm afraid that information's not available. But please rest assured, as the Musketeers will be on hand to deal with unexpected threats. We will now form 5 pairs, each consisting of a squadron member and a Musketeer escort. Oh dear. Oh, I see. A buddy system wherein each partner watches out for the other's welfare. Splendid idea. I volunteer to partner with Nick. As you can see, I've already been allocated a partner. When were you going to learn to be more honest with yourself, Nick? That stubbornness is detrimental to your health, you know. Then what about Volker? First come, first serve, I suppose. In my case, Zaid? Zaid appears taken as well. But my favorite assistant detective won't let me down. I just know it. Sure, what could go wrong? What a relief. And just so we're clear on the ground rules, please refrain from engaging in conduct that may hinder my group progress. Understood? I pray no harm will come to you. The operation is commenced. Good luck to all. Please let me be able to summon my trusts quickly. Hey, here we go. Worst case scenario, I think I have Sleepka, and I can sub Black Mage. I just don't want to. Come on. Kubeki. Khalil. You, and I suppose we throw down the King of Hearts just in case. that is all 5 of us. Let us begin. Okay, she is progressing up. Good, 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 good. We're just hoping I can get to these guys first. Should be any area around here. Yeah, they are. Engage! Go, Millennial! Engage! I can't. There we go. One missed me. Oh boy. Okay. This is one of the Meebles burrows. Ah. I can actually nerf my strength down pretty handily with something much weaker. Yeah. That'll make things easier. Ensure Millennial gets off, which is the most important thing, is he needs to get Uriel Blade off. This is gonna be the hard one, because this one's got 9 of them. Oh, and they're approaching from 2 different directions! Come on! Get back here! Back here! How's she doing health-wise? Not great, but she's surviving. I can see why this is a bit of a hassle. I can absolutely see why this is a hassle. If it wasn't for the mini-map, this would be a lot harder. Where? Go, Valenio! Quickly! Engage! Oh boy. She's at half health, that's not good. She's actually down quite low. And it won't let me cast regen on her. Let me cast protect at least? It will. That will help. I could put blink on her too, that might help too. No, blink is only for me. Okay. Protect will help. And especially since that's protect 4. Come on. Engage. Magnus. And blow it up. Oh, that was more difficult than I thought it should have been. Okay, there we go. Oh, that was more stressful than it should have been. Now's the time for blasting 101. Step 1, mount the detonator like so. Step 2, set your preferred time to detonation. 1 minute should suffice. Don't try this at home, children. Go with the goddess, Mr. Siege Turret. That was not a minute. A 5-star blast, if I say so myself. Hey, Mr. Assistant Detective, we haven't the time for a beauty nap. There's still much work to do, so let's keep moving. You're back, Rachnios. Here's the last of them. Stand back, everyone. I'm gonna detonate the charge. Wait, that's each turret. Take cover! Martina! No, you mustn't go back. No, not Nicholas. Oh, 5 moons. 5 moons. Martina, are you hurt? I'm fine. What could have caused an explosion of such magnitude? That particular siege turret was loaded with a shell containing an experimental explosive charge with sufficient power to pulverize even the reinforced walls of the metalworks. That all makes sense. The time needed to fine-tune their experimental charge prevented the Cait from deploying a full field of siege turrets. Please forgive my negligence. I was careless to have overlooked such a simple detail. No one's to blame. I merely stumbled upon this fact when I overheard a goblin alchemist speaking of it on my way here. Most important thing is no one was injured. Thank you, 5 Moons. I owe you my life. Isn't this ironic? The Hume-hating Gulka comes to the rescue of a Hume. Lay off, Zaid. I'm sure you have some nerve showing your face here in front of the captain. Have you so easily forgotten that you're no longer musketeer, but worthless traitor? Or have you finally realized the graveness of your offense and came here to submit to justice? I said, enough! Let Zaid say what he wants, Volka. A person bereft of hopes and dreams like him could never understand my feelings. But nothing changes the fact I was wrong. Wrong to rely on force to fight against injustice. I finally came to see the error of my ways. I realized I was trying to further my cause by using the same tool of evil, violence. As the Hume official was the subject of my animosity. So many young lives were lost as a consequence of my foolishness. Their blood, it's all on my hands. 5 Moons. That will be enough self-admonishment for now. We return to the capital. You included, 5 Moons. Captain? Now's not the time for petty squabbles between Gulka and Hume. Never before has there been a time when all citizens of Bastok must unite to defend their beautiful homeland from the vile clutches of the enemy. Do I not speak the truth? Yes, ma'am. And now we go back to Bastok and see where it takes us. See how people respond to what just happened. Come on, load in. Load in, Canyon. I'm just looking ahead and seeing how I'm going to try and break these up. How many times do I have to tell you he's not here? By now, Comrade Gallag will have detained all Hume officers and seized all key facilities in the Republic. What a rash young fool. Hurry, take me to him. What in the world? Where were I? The enemy was allowed to reach the city gate? We were completely outnumbered. We don't know how much longer these gates will hold. Where are I? Look over there. Huh? The Humes have been set free. Has something happened to Comrade Gallag? All of you, listen up and listen well. These Hume officers have been released from detainment. Be assured that I have not forgotten the ill feeling you feel towards the Humes. But no matter how little love there may be between our two races, Bastok is our homeland, built brick by brick with the blood and sweat of our displaced Gulkan ancestors who crossed the seas in search of a safe haven. Now's the time to cast aside our differences and unite under one banner to protect our homeland. And I believe it has been mentioned in other sources in-game that the Gulkan did prove themselves very handily during the war. Her with her weapon skill. That's just Savage Blade, man. Yeah, the Kadev. Really, this is one of the beast tribes I wish we saw in 14 more. Like the orcs I could live without, but the Kadev, I really like them. With a tail, nonetheless, too. This is their homeland, so it's not surprising. And yes, they're fighting mostly with Picts because there's an interracial conflict happening in Bastok. We interrupted a attempted rebellion, and we calmed that down, only for the Turtle Men to get interrupted, to interrupt everything, as expected. Yeah, it was an entire assassination plot. It's actually quite an interesting tale involving Tonberry's senators and assassination, as well as interracial conflicts. What are you loitering around here for? President Preen's about to make an official statement. So head over to the president's office right now. And Gentle Tiger's always just letting us through. He's the worst gate guard. He really is. He's not supposed to let anyone through, but he's let us through every time. Thanks to the selfless display of courage, the greatest danger ever faced by our nation since its founding has successfully been averted. It is with supreme jubilation I now stand before you and make this declaration. We have triumphed over the Khadav. But, of course, this victory was not without cost. We must never forget our comrades who gave their lives in the line of duty, nor the innocent citizens who fell to the indiscriminate onslaught of the beastmen. Please join me now in a moment of silent prayer to the memory of those who are no longer with us. Thank you. I would now like to take this opportunity to make an announcement concerning a matter of great importance. I ask you all to listen well and with open minds. The incident wherein Senator Werner was brutally murdered by a Tonberry assassin. I'm deeply ashamed that suspicion behind the plot was falsely... Oh, thank you. Was falsely cast upon a law-abiding leading citizen like Chairman Pale Eagle. Chairman Pale Eagle is innocent? What's the meaning of this? Senator Cost, would you be so kind? Listen to what I have to say. Oh, it is, Listen to what I have to say. No. Listen to what I have to say, everyone. I myself was designated the next victim of a Tonberry assassin, I would have indeed shared the same fate as the late Senator Werner. Goddess rest his soul. Had it not been for the heroic sacrifice of Chairman Pale Eagle, it is to him I owe my life. What? The chairman saved the senator's life? The person who brought forth the allegations against the chairman was none other than myself. In spite of this, the chairman threw his life on the line to save me, a man who sought to have him removed from his post. Would the real mastermind behind the assassination plot place another's life before his own? For those of you who still doubt, a floor plan of the Center of Defense's office was discovered on the body of the Tonberry assassin. The true culprit behind the assassination has been determined. So, Chairman Pale Eagle was innocent all along? I am unreservedly convinced of the chairman's innocence. As president, I wish to offer an official apology, and will do my utmost to see him restored to the honored post he so rightly deserves. And I promise swift and firm retribution against the Beastmen Confederate, who have orchestrated this fiendish plot to destabilize our fair republic. Stand by me now, for together we are strong. Hurrah! I only have so many voices, I'm not gonna lie. I've got like 2 variations of the haughty voice. I've got like 2, maybe 3 female voices, and that's it. Oh, they are very hairy. Like, I'll have to show you a picture of, because that hair exists in 14, by the way. Like, that hair exists. It is it's one of the defaults for the Rose. It is funny how close you can get to a Golka with Rose in 14. It really is funny. But Your Excellency, Allowances cannot make for charges of such grievous nature. Of that I am aware. As representative of the security office, I therefore therefore duly request the handover of the suspect, Mithril Musketeer 5 Moons. If you would spare a few moments, I'd like to have a word with him. But of course, Mr. President. Do you have anything to say for yourself? I see. So it is your intention to maintain silence to the end and make amends by paying with your life. Do you really think you can escape responsibility so easily? You may think it honorable to die, but what of those left behind? What of the bereaved families of the many comrades who gladly gave their lives to your cause? What of your fellow Mithril Musketeers, who all this time have been scrambling tirelessly to clear your name? Are they to suffer not only the loss of valuable manpower, but also bear the burden of your tarnished legacy? Captain Clara. In this period of turmoil, is it not true that the absence of a single Mithril Musketeer could adversely affect the outcome of battle? Your words do us great honor, Mr. President. Yes, our intelligence gathering capability is highly regarded throughout the entire Alliance. Mr. President, I understand your intention, but may I point out that I knew I could count on your understanding, Dieter. Sir? Now, there's no need for overreaction. Oh, very much Draenei, and they all very similar lizard tails. There's no need whatsoever to believe that the suspect will attempt a vanishing act. So I trust there will be no objections if I were to ask you to leave him in my care until the commencement of the court-martial? As you wish, Mr. President. If Your Excellency will act as guarantor and provide pertinent documentation, I agree to this proposal. The other interesting thing about Bastok at this time period is this is the military police. They've become a police state because they're a besieged city. This changes when the war ends. There's no military police in Bastok in present-day Vana'diel, since we are in the past, this is what happened during the siege. But, if I may be so bold, the Senate may not be so lenient regarding this unorthodox solution. Your concern is appreciated, Dieter, but quite unnecessary. Now, 5 Moons, or should I say Galag? Because that's the interesting thing about Galka. They have 2 names. They have the one they go by. In this case, it's Galag. But once they achieve something, I don't know if it's an age thing or if it's a status thing or whatever, they acquire a second name, hence 5 Moons. You are to resume Mithril Musketeer duty as before. Understood? If the captain will still have me. The answer to that question is obvious, soldier. Then it is settled. Also, military tribunals are never fun, much less in wartime. Our nation must never again be divided. Galeg, your role in ensuring a united Bastok will be instrumental. Of this I'm certain. Much rests upon your able shoulders. Yes, Your Excellency. And Arachnios. Captain Clara has told me of your part in destroying the enemy war machines in the Ruhat's silver mines. You've done our nation a great service. I thank you on behalf of all citizens of Bastok. Please, accept this as a symbol of our heartfelt gratitude. We look forward to your continued support in the future endeavors of our nation. All's well that ends well. 5 moons. Don't you dare think about putting us through such a mess again. Captain, You needn't say anything. Welcome back, 5 moons.
Hey, Zaid. Isn't there anything you want to say to 5 moons?
The same indefatigable. I'm not even sure what that word means.
Zaid, as always, it seems. Leave him be. As the Golka, Zaid too would have much to think about on the recent happenings.
Zaid is an odd one. Zaid exists kind of as a ghost in present-day Vana'diel. I mean, he exists physically, but he just kind of shows up and does things. He's specifically your Dark Knight trainer, for lack of a better term. He shows up, gives you a sword, and says, kill 100 things. I just don't know what that word means, and indefatigable. I still don't know what that word means. And I pride myself on my vocabulary, and I'm very, very sad I don't know what that word means. I can guess, but I'm so annoyed that I don't know what that word means.
Now, Rachnios.
Persisting tirelessly. Well, that does make sense. He's very much that. He's always everywhere, just kind of doing things. Even 30 years in the future.
Yeah, Zaid's still around doing things.
As mentioned by the President, we would like your continued assistance. Can we count on your help in the upcoming operation?
Oh, yeah, that's Zaid. Even when we took down he's the Golka who helped us take down the Shadow Lord in the present time frame. He helped us take down the Shadow Lord. Helped us take out the Xylardians. The Xylard. Did he help us take down the Xylart? Yeah, he did help us take down the Xylart. He did not help us kill Promethea, and he had nothing to do with Adargan. As expected. Adargan's across the world. Yes, of course.
Good. I knew we could depend on you. Now, with regards to the next...
Oh no.
Captain? Are you feeling unwell?
Also, Volker, 30 years in the future, looks the same. Not a gray hair on the man.
It's nothing. Just a bout of dizziness. Nothing more. You've been overexerting yourself recently, Captain. Why, I honestly don't recall the last time you were off duty. A good rest is definitely in order. You may have the right of it. Volker, see to the issues as listed on the agenda in my stead. I will not be absent long.
Understood, Captain.
Volker just reminds me... Yeah, that's exactly why I try and do the Solid Snake voice. I'm not very good at it, but I try.
Rachnios.
He also has a very a face you can't get in the character creator. That's how you can tell certain characters are special, is because they got very special faces. Volker's one of them.
Let's postpone the briefing for now and resume after the captain has sufficiently recovered.
I've never seen Captain Clara in such a run-down state before. I hope it's nothing serious. Oh, and I heard good news from the chief, from Chief Sturm. Congratulations on being appointed the sixth member of the Mithril Musketeers. Oh, we become a Mithril Musketeer. That's good. You've made it big, and don't forget about the little guys. It may have been gross negligence, but it was I who let you through here in the first place. Come back to show me your appreciation to yours truly from time to time, right? He is the worst gate guard. I mean, we snuck in past him, and he just lets you through. He is the worst gate guard. He really, really is. But I can't fault him for that. He's trying his best. And his best is very bad. But he's trying his best. He's trying his best. He's just very, very bad at it. He really, really is. Yeah, but this is wartime Bastok. War chocobos. I mean, look at that. War chocobos all ready to go. Cannons pointed at the gates, just in case. It's not that he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. It's that he's just bad at stopping people from getting through. I mean, he not only let us through several times. That's mostly that he's just let us through several times. And we're an adventurer who just wandered into the city in the middle of a siege, in the middle of wartime. We handed them a certificate from Juno that said, hey, recruit this guy. And they said, okay, cool. And then we get recruited into an assassination plot, and it's a mess. And that's just the Bastok storyline. That's not Wings of the Goddess storyline, which is even more of a convoluted mess at this time, because we just got introduced briefly, in name only, to the character Lilith, and the fact that multiple timelines are all converging on this point in time. And there's like multiple Cait Sith. I thought there was just one. There's at least 7 or 8 of them. And there's another time traveler, Lilizette, who's met her father. In fact, she's a time traveler who went back to try and prevent her father from dying on her. And possibly failed that. And timelines are changing and things are... It is a mess of timelines. I'm not even sure how it's actually pronounced. I've always pronounced it Cait Sith. Because C-A-I-T, best pronunciation is Cait. That's Cait Sith. Okay. See, with the I there always makes me kind of draw out the A, so it's Cait for me. But if it's Cait Sith, that's perfectly fine. I can adjust that. It's just... It's always Sith. It's always Sith. It's S-I-T-H. It's Sith. Oh no! Do we have... Oh, that's probably how it's pronounced in the original Japanese. We have a Titus. We've got a Titus situation, don't we? Oh... Yeah. That's That's because in the original Japanese, because, well, every Japanese word ends in a vowel. And thus they can't end it on a th. Plus, th is not an easy thing for I mean, it's not as bad as R's and L's, but I don't think that's an easy one, so it's a... they would do it as sheath. It's Cait she. It's a cat she. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a pun in there either. Yeah, it's a Tigrex Titus situation. And no, it's always Titus Tigrex. I don't care how much you paid the voice actor to say it differently. You're wrong. I will accept your Zillart in place of Xylart. But that's because 20 years ago you, for some reason, cheaped out on the voice acting. And I will continue to be annoyed at that. Anyway. Well, that's how that has always been pronounced. It is a Roman name. It is a Latin name from the Roman Empire, and it's always been pronounced Titus. Just like the development company, Titus. That's just how it is pronounced. No, I don't care that you for some reason pronounce it differently. You're wrong. It's not a cross-cultural, this is pronounced this way versus that way. No, it's not a Jesus Jesus situation. No. This is how it's pronounced. This is how it's always been pronounced. Type of deal. Granted, some languages just need different ways of pronouncing things. This I understand. Titus is not one of those. Now, if they'd spelled it differently, I might have pronounced it Titus, but that requires a completely different spelling of that name. Anyway, enough of my... enough about that. Oh. Anyway, given what's going on in the story, I think it's best to call it here. Try and get through a lot of the story as much as we can in these segments where we have main storyline, and then the 2 nation missions at the end, although that may or may not always happen. It's just how they have, for some reason, this expansion, that's how they have it split up. That way they don't have all of the wait-a-day stories, one after another, after another, after another, like they did with Uttert Gone. Instead, they've got a segment of, here's the main story, and some nation story. Split up like that. Yeah, Zaid's an interesting character, because he just kind of appears, and then disappears. He quite literally is, for Galka, who's extremely large, he just kind of is. Like, when you accept the Dark Knight quest to unlock Dark Knight, the kid you talk to, who's a young Galka, doesn't even know if Zaid's actually alive or not. He thinks it's a ghost. Because Zaid has been kind of just missing for years. No one knows where he is or what he's doing. He just might be existing. He might not exist. No one knows. And they just hand you a sword and says, here, kill 100 enemies and you will be a Dark Knight. And you literally have to kill 100 enemies. And then go back to him, and then he's like, hey, you're a Dark Knight. And then he just disappears. And then you get to like level 50, you go to him, and he's like, here's another sword. Kill another 100 enemies. I think he just wants to kill things. but he doesn't care what they are. Dark Knight is weird. Zaid's a very interesting character. And then he just comes along for like the entirety of the first 2 expansions. I mean, he's useful. But also the main character in those expansions is actually Lion and not Zaid, and so that started the trend of a major female lead in every expansion. Because you had Lion, then you had Prish, and in this one you have Lilizette. Technically you had one... Yeah, and then you also had in Adartkan you had the Empress, whose name I'm drawing a blank on. Where is she? Well, you actually had 2. You had Nashmera and, where is she? Oh, I haven't unlocked her yet. Yeah, but yeah, it's always an additional female lead with always a very distinctive face and or body structure. And everyone else just looks like every other character you can create in-game. I don't get it. Granted, there's only like 5 faces total. Between every gender and race, so it's like you've got your choices of 5. And that's all the NPCs. I mean, the number of NPCs that have looked like... this has been rather extreme. Let me unequip my hat. The number of them that have looked like this has been a lot. This is actually one of the more common faces, and I'm very annoyed by that. Like, customization options do not exist. They do not exist. You will be one of 5 faces. That's all. And your armor. Granted, you can make your armor look like literally any other combination of armor. But you have to turn that on. Every time. And you swap jobs. Oh, now you gotta turn back on your glamour. It's a little annoying. But yeah, this is where we're gonna call it for today. We'll see everybody Friday. Yes, Friday for Tower of Mask. A self-described survival horror dungeon crawler. Oh, the one advantage, and this is annoying, that's buried under the macros. You have 200 glamour plates, essentially. Glamour plates, equipment sets, same difference, but you have 200 of them. So, that's the one advantage of it. But that's also your, like I said, your equipment sets. And since you will have, yes, 200 of them. But here's the thing. Though you will also have 3 or 4 different equipment sets per job that you're going to be swapping through on the fly in combat. Let me tell you about the casting sets briefly. For those who are unaware, you will have 3 casting sets at a bare minimum for casting spells. 1 you have equipped before you cast your spell. And then when you start casting your spell, you switch to a second set specifically for just when you're casting your set. And the third one you switch to just at the end of your casting, because that's where all your bonuses to damage come from. Yeah. And here's the thing. The in-game swapping system is so bad, there are There are specifically third-party tools that are better than it that let you script them. Because like I said, some of these spells have like a 3-second cast time, which means you have to switch to your precast set, start casting, swap to your casting set, and then just before that finishes, swap to your damage set. And then afterwards, if you're going to be hitting anything with your weapon to build up TP, which is used for major attacks and everything, then you have to swap to a TP building set. And then back when you go back and casting your spell, it is a mess. And all of these are endgame, grinding, deep amounts of grind, ton of time invested in them. It is not easy to get these sets. Oh, and and then there's the prime weapons they added, which are literally 6 months. You will not get the weapon before 6 months to a year. And that's 6 months assuming you're on every day doing it. And you're spending you're gaining 1.2 million of the currency needed per day for that for 6 months. On top of the one I'm currently stuck on, which are the merit points. This is the endgame leveling system. You get like 2,100 of these. There are 2,100 levels of 10,000 experience apiece. But you have to spend them as you get them on various attributes to increase them, including specific things for your classes. There's like 2,100 of those. No, there's an infinite number of those. There's infinite number of those. And then you've got a second experience system unlocked at 99, which is this one, which is 2,100 of these. And that's not even counting the one that came after job points called exemplar points, which are even slower and even more of a grind. When I've mentioned this, me and Redden have talked about this briefly with you guys around in the 14 group. When I say that 11 is a endgame grind upon an endgame grind upon an endgame grind upon a gear grind, it is all of those. And those 2,100 points, that's just for one job. You want to play multiple jobs, you have to grind all 2,100 of those per job as that job. As much as I like 11, and I really do, that's stupid. I mean, yeah, the game's been around for 20 years. I'm not spending the next 15 of it grinding those. I have better things to do with my life than 15 years of grinding in a game. But with the new dev team in 11, they've moved away from the dev kits. They're working with modern tools. They're really looking to enhance things. Whether or not they decide to tear out some of these systems or not, I hope. But I have doubts that they're gonna do that. But who knows? With a new version of the original Guild Wars coming out, which apparently has just been announced, who knows? They might revisit this. They might revisit 11 and spin up a proper development party to get it better. Like, even more than they're doing now. We can only hope. The future for 11 and 14 hopefully still remains bright. For now. Let's hope Square Enix doesn't do something stupid. We'll see you next time.